Knowledge is power that liberates one from suffering. It is one of the big statements that we find in the teachings of Eastern wisdom. And knowledge is no doubt power if it liberates one from suffering. We may say it is the right knowledge that first promotes detachment, dispassion, clarity and conviction, that there is a higher knowledge than what our mind knows. There is a field of known and unknown, both in the world and the inner space. We don't know everything in the world outside. Do we know everything in the world inside? What about that inner space of a man? The knowledge of the world offers luxuries, comfort, pleasure, maybe satisfaction, but fails to give us everlasting happiness, love, wisdom, and the truth. What knowledge liberates from the suffering? That is the subject matter of Eastern wisdom, whether it is yoga, mantra, tantra, kundalini, or any teaching. And ultimately, it is Sat Chit Anand. It is the absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. Simply say, we can say it's a pure consciousness. We need not to go into the nitty-gritty of Sat Chit Anand. Let us undertake a journey in a simple way. But when we use the term Sat Chit Anand, it is beyond and behind the mind. It is the subjective reality. So we can argue, I don't believe it. Let us start the journey and put belief pending inquiry, understanding, practice, and experience. The question is not if the Sat Chit Anand exists or not. The right question is, can we transcend the mind and enter into the state of mindfulness, or a highest mindfulness, if I say so, or meditation? The question inspires us to undertake a journey to self-discovery, and not the journey of what the self is not. So it means we want to know, who am I? At the same time, we recognize what is not self and leave it to find the innermost self. Self, or who am I, is the first. Then the world of people, object, time, and the space is our common experience. I am and I exist before I say I know you. I know the world. I know the suffering. I know the riddles of the world. Do I know who am I is the big question. I know you, no doubt. I know my pain and the suffering, but do I really know who am I? So it means all the riddles of life starts from I, then extends to the world of people, object, time, and the space. Then comes the riddles of life. We experience suffering, pain, challenges, They come much later. Once we know the true nature of this I, what we call as I, we can easily navigate in life with peace and happiness. Again, the doubt comes. Simple thing to understand. That let us start inquiry and discover what is this, who am I? Or our true nature, according to the teachings of the Eastern wisdom. Two options are there. If we find the true nature as discovered and validated by our great masters of Eastern wisdom for more than 6,000 years, we will validate the same truth and start living into the same state. Second option, even if we discover that there is no permanent peace and happiness present within, or our true nature is of the nature of permanent peace and happiness, if we don't find it, so what will happen? Still, we will bring an end to the suffering. It is the mind will stop craving, reacting, agitating in the world. Why? Because now the mind fully knows that there is no peace and happiness in the world and within me. So it will bring an end to the suffering in both the cases.